this year based on the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens. We won't just be focusing on this book, we will expand to other leadership skills and things like that for our students and leaders. So our workshop overview is that it will be at Bloomington High School South, and it will be for our sophomores, so that way they can apply what they've learned within the school. We will have 100 nominees, so 100 total students. These students will come from clubs and sports. We will ask each team and each club at the school to nominate 2 sophomores. So we're expecting about 40 from athletics and 60 from clubs. If we're a little over 100, we can take those students and it won't have too much of an effect on our budget. But we're hoping for 100, and these numbers as far as sports numbers, clubs numbers should be right. We have 20 clubs, 20 sports, and we have about 30 clubs. That fluctuates because they come and go. So we are looking at about 100 spots just depending. So Bloomington High School South will also provide the facilities for this. There will be no need to pay for facility rental. We will use the large group room and the auditorium. Now this workshop will evolve over time, but at least the first year we will have a team of 12 teachers to run it. So I will be one of the workshop directors, there'll be one other one, and then we will have 10 teachers who are doing various activities with our students. So quick overviews: in the morning we'll have 5 small group sessions, and in the afternoon we'll have another 5. So we're going to take those 100 students, break them into 10 groups of 10, nice pretty number, and there will be 10 sessions for them to get through. They will do half in the morning, half in the afternoon, staying with that small group all day during those activities. We will have 3 whole group sessions. We will start the day with the whole group session, we'll have a midday break with the whole group session, and we will end the day with a whole group session. This will involve activities, kind of some meeting of the minds type of things, stuff like that. We will also have 1 leadership speaker at our leadership workshop with our students, and they will speak about midday, so that will be a break between our activities, and then we can at the end talk about how it all comes together. So our speaker this year who we're hoping to get is Rich Wolter. So Rich Wolter is a motivational speaker out of Chicago. He does a lot of work with high schoolers. That is one of the areas that he is really great at speaking. He has had great reviews from people we've talked to. They've really loved him. Now he does a couple of different topics that he talks about. This is just one of the links at the bottom of the page. Is speech topics. So the 2 that we liked the most were leadership against results, power of positive choices. He will be able to do a hybrid of the 2. So rather than having to pick one, he'll kind of do a little bit on each, so we can talk to our students about those choices they're making in the future, kind of help them and their friends make those good choices, as well as how can we be leaders and how can it be effective. So that is the speaker that we're looking at. I can give you here's the link if you would like to look at more about him. Now, here we have a 4-year plan. This 4-year plan shows both the vision of what this workshop becomes, as well as gives us a little idea of what is going to happen to the budget over this time. First of all, year 1 and year 2 will be the most expensive years. Year 1, we will have 12 teachers to lead the event, and we will have sophomores and maybe a couple juniors. Because it's our first year, we don't have juniors and seniors who've already gone through. So we may accept a couple juniors if we feel that it would really be a good place for a club or a team. And those, again, will be nominated by clubs and sports. Now, year 2, we will have 12 teachers plus 12 students. So these will be 12 students who were part of the event the year before. They will come and be a part of it in a leadership and a planning capacity. 10 of them will work one-on-one with our small group leading teachers, and 2 of them will work with me and the other director to help create the content, help set up large group activities, find speakers, things of that nature. Year 3 is where we see this cost really start to go down. We're going from 12 teachers to 5 teachers, and we're going to 24 students. So again, we will have 20 students, this time in pairs of 2. So in year 2, we had a teacher and a student for each small group. This time, we're going to have 2 students for each small group. That will leave us with 4 extra. One of them will be our student director of the event, and then the other 3 will help with the large group breakouts. They'll help run those, as well as any other things small groups need help with. Our last year, year 4, this is what our event will look like ideally moving forward, and it actually will be a much less expensive as far as compared to year 1 to year 4. Year 4, we will only have 2 teachers. We'll have the 2 directors. That's all we need because at this point, we will become completely self-sufficient. We will have students who have come through our workshop process. We'll have 27, it will be juniors and seniors, just like with year 3. And we will have, again, 20 of those students will be doing one-on-one breakout sessions. There might be 1 or 2 breakout sessions that maybe over the years we've learned needs a 3rd person. So we're going to keep this number high just to have that ability during the planning time. And then we will again have our student director and then our other students who maybe will have 2 student directors or students who help with our large breakout sessions. So here's how we can see 4 is that ideal year, that last year. 1, 2, and 3 are how we're going to get there in an effort to have this be an effective use of our time and resources. Now, what does this budget look like? We're going to focus on the year 1 budget because this is what's coming up. Year 1, those substitutes for teachers are the biggest part of our budget. We need 12 substitutes. 80 substitutes, it's $86.24 each, which brings us to a total of $1,034.88. Student price for feeding students will be about $850. We will get sandwiches made by a local sandwich place, and then we can go purchase chips and things like that to kind of keep that cost down. Our speaker is going to be about $800. It's going to be a $550 speaker fee, and then from there, that $250 is for airfare. We do need to pay that as well. It should be less than that, but we wanted to budget in a little bit extra, so that way at the end, all of a sudden we didn't need extra money. Our total cost is going to be $2,684.88. Now, I'm not asking Rotary International to cover that, but we only need part. The Pepsi account, which is the money that comes from students purchasing things from the vending machine, as well as the money Pepsi pays us to have their vending machines there, and the money that comes out of them, that will cover $700. This account, the money comes from the kids, we're going to send it back to the kids. Next, we have an ECA interest account. So ECA, extracurricular activities, that's our teams and our clubs who will be nominating. They have accounts. These accounts earn interest. This interest is just in that generic ECA account. It doesn't get distributed over all of those accounts. So we have this built-up money fund here. So that is going to be $1,100 because we're taking it from the people that we are giving it right back to. So our remaining balance is $884.88, and this is what we were hoping to have covered by Rotary International. Now, we don't want you to cover this money. Thanks, nice to see you. We'll be back next year. But then after that, when we don't really need it anymore because that sub cost has gone down, great to see you, right? Because by year 4, we're going to be under $200 for sub cost. So this goes way down. So all this goes way down, and these 2 accounts will cover it. What we want is we want to use Rotary International's events and things like that to help our students show how they're leaders. So events you already have, we would love it if some of these students who graduated from this leadership workshop, who maybe are or are not helping with our future ones, to come in and help you with the events. Come into planning sessions, brainstorming sessions, come in before, do some prep work, help the day of the event, things like that. So we're hoping that we can now have a platform for our students to take our skills and use them, and also to help and work in the community and with this club that is going to hopefully help fund it. So, does anyone have any questions?